How are you? Guys, I'm very sorry for my delay. We got word there was some technical issues, so apologize for keeping you waiting. I'm trying to make sure we're a little bit more on time, so let some of the legislators come together. So quiet you could hear a pin drop. Good morning. And thank you to every single one of you for being here. This really is an amazing day. And it's great to be here next door to the site of Fidelis's 2,000 plus acre Monarch AI data center campus, which will be built soon, largely in part to the law that we're going to be signing today. Incredible. Today, I'm joined by so many leaders around the state, and I don't want to miss anyone. I already am looking at our chart. We may be missing a few, but we have Delegate Fehrenbacher here. We have Senator Eric Tarr, Delegate Jim Butler, Senator Mike Azinger is supposed to be coming down. Senator Glenn Jeffries did a lot of great work on this. Delegate Sarah Drennan, I saw her earlier. There you are. Delegate Jonathan Pinson, Delegate Ryan Browning, Delegate Jeff Eldridge, Delegate Daniel Linville. Who am I missing on the legislative side? Anyone? I know we have representatives from Senator Capito's office here. I don't know if there's someone from Senator Justice's office here, but I want to thank everyone for coming in, because this is a truly remarkable day for West Virginia. West Virginia is America's energy state. And this law is going to demonstrate it to the whole country that we are ready for action. We're going to be leveraging our natural resources in a way you've never seen before. And it's going to lead to the betterment of our citizens. Higher standard of living, more take-home pay, broader educational attainment, and West Virginia will be better positioned to compete compared to all the states that we touch. This is how we win the backyard brawl that I've been talking about the last couple of years. And it's because of the team that's here together. Never just about one person, but we had a lot of people working really hard to have a successful law. When I took office just over 100 days ago, I shared my vision for increasing energy production, lowering electricity prices for West Virginians, helping position America as an energy giant once again. I know we have a great partner in the White House. With President Trump there, we have literally unlimited opportunities right here in the Mountain State. We know for over 2 centuries, we powered the needs of our country, relying on good old-fashioned West Virginia resources and a very hungry workforce. For this to continue, we cannot let our foot off the gas. In fact, our national security depends upon it. And that's because, as we've been talking about for a while, we're in a very important competition, a strategic arms race, if you will, between the United States and China. And the winner of this contest is going to be the country that powers the enormous data needs of tomorrow. As I've said many, many times, China already generates half of the world's coal-fired power. Half. And they're building coal-fired power plants seemingly every week, multiple every month. This actually gives it a huge advantage in the arms race for computing power and superintelligence. America must dramatically increase our power production. That's coal and gas in particular, or China will win the technological battle that will determine our future. That's unacceptable, I believe, to everyone here in this room. West Virginia is going to help lead the way to defeat the China menace. And we're going to position America as the energy capital of the world. And West Virginia, we're going to be driving the way, because with this bill and a lot of the other tools that we have in place, we're now moving up fast on the list to become more attractive for these data centers than any state in the country. And we're going to go over that in a little bit. We have a lot of competitive advantages. We have abundant resources like coal and natural gas and water. We have strategic locations for data security, like where we are today. We have a regulatory framework that's going to be second to none. We're going to cut red tape more than any other state in the country. Let me be clear. When it comes to time to build, West Virginia is going to be out in front and faster than every state in America. So if you're thinking about a data center, got to look at West Virginia. Come while the getting is good, because we have some unbelievable things we're doing. We're streamlining the process. When you think about this bill, combine it with the one-stop permitting bill that we're also signing today. The two work hand in hand. Come to the Commerce Department, work with our data economy liaison, do some amazing things. Come work with our one-stop permitting process and move faster. Speed to build, critical. Location, proximity to vast amounts of energy resources. Cutting red tape. And it'd be remiss of me, when I look, I see Sarah Tucker over there, I look and I see the importance of our workforce. West Virginia has a unique opportunity, not only because of our energy resources, but because of the time that we've put in to developing a capable workforce. When I look out and I think about the possibilities, after talking with Marshall, talking with WVU, Shepherd, a lot of our technical colleges, we have the ability to really invest heavily in terms of advanced manufacturing and data engineering, but also for a lot of the VOTEC jobs that are going to be critical. When Fidelis begins, it's going to be a haven for how many electrician jobs? A lot. And these are jobs that'll last 15, 20 years. You can make a career off them. These are jobs that pay really good wages. West Virginia is going to be America's factory for VOTEC. And we're going to compete in this backyard brawl, and we are going to win, baby. We're going to win, 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 thanks to everyone who's here today. So today is a great day. And I also want to share with you that if this law is even modestly successful, think about the transformative effect it can have on West Virginia. If revenue comes in at an even conservative estimate, we have an ability to lop off large percentage of our state's income tax. Think about that. For America to look at West Virginia and see not only is it energy dominant, but now it's competing better and we'll be on our way to have the lowest income tax of the region, lower than everyone else. So if this one law over time might be worth conservatively 25% of the amount for the state income tax, maybe if we're successful, it could be worth over half the amount we're currently paying for the state income tax, maybe more. We'll see. I'm not going to overpromise. That's not my style. I'm not going to use catchphrases to say just what kind of state we're going to be in. We're just going to work, and we're going to work, and we're going to work, just the way you saw for 12 years, and we're going to win for West Virginia. That's what we do. And we do it as a team. Now, today, I'm very proud to sign HB 2014. And this is called the Power Generation and Consumption Act for a reason. We will become the most attractive place in the country to build data centers in the country, and we're going to expand the use of microgrids in the state. Pretty significant changes that everyone across the country is going to be looking at. For those who don't know, a microgrid is a self-contained power network that operates separate from the main power grid. Nothing in this bill prevents you from working with the utility and the main power grid. But if you're looking for speed to build and you want to have flexibility, we're going to provide that option to you so that you might have the ability to build in 24 to 30 months instead of 6 to 8 years. That's who gets to win the technology arms race of the future. Currently, West Virginia State Code only allows for 2 microgrid sites in the entire state, 2. And they're required to be powered by renewable energy. That's not sustainable for the future. That's why we're changing that today. And we're going to make sure that this is technology neutral in terms of the energy resources, but we're going to deal with the market demand out there to bring as many new data companies in as possible, not limited to 2. This is important. Right now, we have a lot of data centers calling up, indicating that they're interested in West Virginia, and they're looking at our bill as a model. That's great. And while I can't share all the names because some of these are confidential conversations, I can tell you this: these are big companies. They have a lot of investors, and boy, are they interested in West Virginia. This is how we rise. This is how we fuel our comeback story. That's why I propose this law, because it's going to expand microgrid development. It's going to better utilize our coal and natural gas resources, and it's going to make it easier and faster for data centers and related business to come into our state. We're going to allow microgrids to burn coal, gas, all of the above energy resources. And as I've said, this is a once-in-a-generation opportunity. I think it's going to drive economic growth and manufacturing and bring a lot of high-skilled jobs into the state. It's going to strengthen our economy. And I mentioned the income tax before, but the other piece, there's a dedicated economic development portion as well, 5% of the total revenues. We've always needed a dedicated economic development revenue source. This is going to provide that. Now, look, it's not going to change overnight. The way tax codes work, the way laws work, it'll take 3, 4, 5 years for these things to truly reach fruition. But we're making real progress today. I do want to thank a lot of other people who are here beyond the legislators. I want to start by thanking some members of my team. Our team worked long and hard on that. I've always believed it's not the quantity of the bills that you get through, it's the quality of the bills. And I thought this bill was worth putting a lot of time into. I have Curtis Capehart here today, who's done a great job. Round of applause for Curtis. He did a really good job. He took the ball, he ran with it, and we started at the beginning of session, and this came from ideas at a cocktail napkin from last August when I was still in the campaign mode of talking to a lot of different people. We have Matt Herridge, who's our Commerce and Economic Development Head. Matt is going to be in charge of a lot of the recruiting efforts, because with economic development folding in to commerce where it should be, we're going to be going out and marketing why West Virginia is going to win this data contest over the next 5 years. So we're working to put that together now. I met with our economic development team the other day. We're beginning that process because now we get to tell the story of what West Virginia had in the past, which was so good, and what's going to have in the future because of this law. So Matt's going to play a big part of it. Got a couple other people. They're not here today, but they did a lot of good work. Nick Preservati played an important role. So round of applause for Nick. And I also want to thank Matt Irby, who's our tax commissioner. I got to tell you, Matt is a smart guy and played a huge role on the tax-related provisions. We were going back and forth about the mechanisms, but he's so thoughtful and diligent and did an incredible job. So I want to recognize our team because we do it as a team here. This is Team West Virginia, never about me or any one person. This is about all of us working together, rowing the boat, and we can achieve great things. I also want to note the counties are doing phenomenally well under this law. When you look at severance taxes and how they've been modeled, think about this. If you're the county where this is located in, 30% of all the revenues, mind you, revenues that you don't have now, 30% is going to the originating county. That is going to be off the charts for a lot of the counties. 10% goes to all the counties on a per capita basis. That's brand new money, once again, that no one has right now. There are a lot of fights over the money. I always think it's funny when you're fighting over money that doesn't exist. But that's what happened here. This is a really good deal for counties, and it's going to lead to generational opportunities. And with the state working closely with the counties, we're going to do this the right way. We know the importance of environmental protection, of keeping our water resources clean. We know the importance of addressing issues like noise pollution. We know the importance of proper setbacks. We want to do this the right way. I can promise you, we want to preserve the beauty of West Virginia in the process. But by God, we're going to grow wealthier and we're going to be stronger as a state because of this law. And we are not going to do things the way they've always been done. This is different. I also want to especially note Fidelis today because they took a chance on a strategy we had, right? And that strategy was not the easy pathway for them. You see, there was a bill that was passed that would have just given Fidelis what they wanted, right? They would have been able to get what they wanted. And we said, no, we want to do something bigger for all of West Virginia. So I said no to that bill. I took some political grief for that, but it was the right thing to do. And the reason it was the right thing to do is because sometimes we all have to sacrifice a little bit more to help West Virginia. And what we did is we found a broader bill that's going to make West Virginia more attractive for data centers to locate than any other state in the nation. But Fidelis, knowing that you had a lot at stake, you worked hard on this, and I really appreciate it because you were at risk. Now, your risk, got turned and converted today. But let me say I appreciate it because that was not an easy call when I had to call up and say, we're not doing company-specific fixes. We're doing broad-based changes to lead to bigger wealth for our state. That's the approach. That's a new West Virginia. And that's what we're going to keep doing. And if this is successful, I think we can replicate it in other areas around our state. But let's be successful. Let's have more coal fired up. Let's have more gas used. Let's take advantage of those severance taxes. Let's reinvest in our people. Let's have the lowest income tax rate of all the states that we touch. Let's invest in educational attainment. These are all things that happen in spades because of this law. This is what economic development should be about in West Virginia. So I'm pleased to sign HB 2014, but I'm also, of course, signing HB 2002. That's the one-stop shop permitting process. And I think this is going to make life easier. Instead of running everywhere in order to get your permits, you go to one place, quick timelines, and we welcome your engagement in that process so we can make sure it's superior to all the states that we touch. I think we're making a major difference today, and this is a chance for West Virginia to truly excel as a state. I think you're going to see a lot more focus on economic development in the upcoming months. I'm very hopeful that we'll have more announcements. Today is a big day for Fidelis, but my hope is in the next few weeks, next few months, this law allows us to really build and grow. So I'm certainly appreciative to have the opportunity to be here today, so close to so much economic activity. And then I'd like to invite our speakers up to come say hello. So I think we have Delegate Fehrenbacher. So if you want to come up. And we have Senator, I know Senator Tarr and others wanted to come up as well. Come on up. Anyone who wants to come. And then I want to start by giving Fidelis and Senator Jeffries, let me say, did a great job, worked very hard on this bill. But I'm going to start first by having Fidelis come because there were some nervous times, right? Yes. But we've overcome them, haven't we? We haven't signed it yet. Wait a minute. Does that mean if I don't make it to the table, why don't you come on over? Come on, my friend. Thank you. Absolutely.
Yes, this is a major milestone, not just for us. We've been here working hard with a lot of people in here. And I have to mention Senator Capito or Justice or people back home are going to get mad at me here because they're going to call them first, right? But what this bill does cannot be understated. It is a transformative change. There's nothing like it in this region of the country, Northeast, and maybe not even the United States. This is truly a transformative bill, law, and it will change things dramatically. West Virginia is open for business. And when we came here 4 years ago, we had a few people that helped us with legislation in DC on the Build Back Better, which is now the Inflation Reduction Act. And the White House issued a strong report on Earth Day last week. I think it was just a week ago, for carbon capture and sequestration, responsible forestry. And that is also very important because the hyperscalers that are calling all of us right now, They want to have a way to decarbonize, but they want power first. And with CCS now available in the state of West Virginia because of all the effort, they can say, yeah, we can build now real fast power time to market, and then we can reduce our emissions over time. So it's absolutely critical to have that in the state. And that's why we partnered with the state of West Virginia to do. We had no idea AI was a thing 4 years back, but I've never seen any industry that's growing so much. We were talking in the back room here. Governor's estimate here is that if this bill is successful, and it leads to 21 gigawatt of power generation for AI data center. And these machines, they're really brains. They can turn off from 20% to 100% in less than a second. The grid cannot handle that load swings. Dedicated resources can. If that 21 gigawatt is done here in West Virginia, it's somewhere between $300 and $400 billion investment in the state. For scaling of that, it's crazy big numbers, right? But it's more than 10 times the value if all the power plants in West Virginia were built today. So it's a major, major investment in the state that cannot be understated. And the economic impact of that is, of course, huge. We hope to do about $100 billion of that here in Mason County. It's going to take, 5 to 8 years. And it could take longer. We may not get there, but this bill enable us to get there.
No, you're going to get there.
And this permitting was already pretty good in West Virginia, much better than just about every other place we've been on. But this streamlining of the permitting too is really extremely helpful. But let me just say about this bill, and then I'll sit down. But the impact of this bill is about 4. Without this bill, the hyperscale would have stayed in Virginia, gone to Ohio. West Virginia sits in the middle of the golden triangle for data centers, but there's no major data center here. That will change. Thank you very much, Governor.
Thank you. Delegate?
I'll be brief because the governor really gave a comprehensive overview of all the things that were accomplished that will impact that. And as I look out, I see a very diverse mix of interested parties here. I see energy producers, I see legislators, I see the universities, I see a broad mix, which to me is a signal of the recognition that this is indeed a transformative moment. I can remember on February 12th when the governor in his State of the State address mentioned microgrids. And frankly, that started discussions that many people wanted to come and speak to us about. And we tried to reflect that input in this bill that is about to be signed, because it will be, I feel, the most impactful piece of legislation that will come out of this last legislative session. I'm proud to have worked with a number of our delegates and senators to get this across the line. One person I'd like to single out because he's not here, because he did have an impact on this, is Delegate Clay Riley. Yes, and also the governor's staff. Curtis was very collaborative in making the bill that is about to be signed a reality, and I look forward to the transformative effect it will have on all West Virginians and this nation. Thank you. Thank you, Governor.
So much. Appreciate it. Senator Jeffries?
Well, first of all, thank you for everyone that has showed up. I think that today is a day of transformation in West Virginia, a day of transformation in Mason County, up along the Ohio corridor. We see with this piece of legislation the opportunity for large economic development up and down the Ohio River. Starting off with Fidelis. Had a lot of long conversations with Fidelis, a lot of long nights talking about the legislation to make sure that everybody is taken care of. We look at within our energy industry, we have the coal association here, we have the natural gas association. We want to make sure that those industries are taken care of, because that's been the backbone of West Virginia. And we very much appreciate all of them being here to be able to work together on this legislation. You know, Governor, I think about your vision for the movement of moving West Virginia in a forward direction, enhancing the state of West Virginia up on economic development. I appreciate all of the work that has been done on this bill, and I appreciate the delegates. I appreciate Curtis. A lot of long nights, a lot of long talks, and to be able to make sure that we're making the right decision upon improving the economy in the state of West Virginia. And I can't thank you enough for your vision that that you have put before us. And I hope that there is ink inside of that pen when you sign that thing. So, but yes, yeah, we want to make sure. I think this is a transforming piece of legislation. When the bill was passed, my phone started ringing off the hook. It hasn't quit ringing. Had a lot of conversations with Fidelis. Even before the bill passed, it was text, and a lot of the industry had a lot of good conversations with the industry. And I do know, as the governor said, that it has changed within the Department of Economic Development. Phone calls have become more and more wanting to. West Virginia has become the spotlight, which I believe puts us in a better position than all of our surrounding states. So, Governor, thank you for your vision.
I appreciate it. You know, I'm going to turn it over to our next delegates, but Senator Jeffries talked about something very important that bears repeating. This product that we have here today is only possible through a lot of hard work for a lot of people, and people came together and different ideas. Sure, there was an overarching vision, but the work that was put in by the House, the work that was put in by the Senate, the work that was put in by the executive, it's a team approach. And when you work together as a team, there's no stopping us. We can achieve unbelievable things. So I look at this bill as an example of how we can do things again into the future. So people work so hard, and I'm so appreciative. And that's why I'm grateful not only for the folks externally here today, but for all the wonderful delegates and senators that worked and tried to make something good for all the people of our state. So now I'm going to turn it over to another person who's been tirelessly working on economic development, Eric Tarr.
I want to start off thinking with this. He really knocked this one out of the park as a jobs bill. It was the jobs bill of this legislative session, and it will be probably for a while. We're talking about just this one company coming in, which is incredible, with Fidelis coming in, but it touches so many other industries across West Virginia in the years to come. So this truly is transformational, not just for this area, but what will happen throughout generations of your families of West Virginians across this state. Beyond that, I want to speak to the people here in Mason County too, as we're sitting here today. The culture of companies that are coming into Mason County. When we start out with Nucor, that's a culture that, as you've got to know them, that's a place you want your children to work. Same thing with Fidelis. And when you start meeting this leadership team and realizing what they want for the people where they locate, it's pretty incredible to see happen. And I see a lot of heads nodding because the people who've been talking to them see that too, and they see that vision. The governor really got behind that vision. As an economic development team that you have between the governor, the whole executive branch, and the legislature to try to get these type of companies to West Virginia, you knocked it out of the park with this one. So thank you so much. I want to shake your hand again, Bank, for bringing it here, for starting here in Mason County. But it's an incredible spark. And when something that's not, I'm sitting here in the seat that I don't want to be lost either. It's pretty incredible that we're having this bill signing in the National Guard Armory, because the war of the future has to do with who can get superintelligence, artificial intelligence, the fastest and the most powerful on the globe. And West Virginia has everything to do that. Every time the nation has called their children to war, West Virginia has been the one that stepped up per capita stronger than any other state in the country. And everything shows that. This is also something that gets to that patriotism, because we will be right here educating our children to be at the highest pinpoint of technology in that war front. So thank you so much for bringing that here, Governor, and legislature that's not even here to be able to say there's a whole lot of people that's behind this. And they all deserve our gratitude. So thank you.
I'm now going to turn it over to Delegate Jim Butler. Before I do, though, since I noted I probably forget a couple people, Clay Riley did put a lot of good hard work in, and he deserves to be recognized. And I also want to thank the Speaker of the House and the Senate President for all their good work. They recognize the importance of this bill. So once again, it's been a team approach. Now I'd like to recognize someone who knows this area quite well and has been really bragging about the opportunities for this community, Jim Butler. Jim.
Good afternoon, everyone. I don't know what is left to be said here, but I think this is a great day for Mason County. And I want to thank the governor and his team for choosing Mason County to come here for this important announcement, because if they hadn't put the work in, we wouldn't have done this. So thank you very much. And also thank you to Fidelis for choosing Mason County. I want to make sure that we don't forget that I look out in the audience here, and I'm not going to try to mention everyone by name, but we have the mayor of Point Pleasant, and we have our county commission, we have school board members, we have members of the Chamber of Commerce, and all the folks in Mason County, emergency services. The sheriff was here earlier. All of the people that have held the community down or held the community together for all of this time so that we could create this opportunity for people to come here. And our son just graduated the Naval Academy. He has a lot of years of service left, but it's great to know that with Fidelis coming here and all the other opportunities, that there will be a place for our young people to come here and live and work and raise a family, as we've been saying. So just a fantastic opportunity for Mason County. We have some young ladies here I met earlier from the vocational school. Great opportunities for them, and that's what this is all about, is opportunities for the individual citizens here in the county. And one thing I would like to say, we're behind the community of Camp Conley right behind us. I have heard a little bit of concern about, understandably, is this going to be a community-friendly industry that's moving in here? And I'll assure you that they've told us that they are, and I do believe them. And I'll do everything I can to make sure that they are good neighbors, and I'm sure that they will be. Just a fantastic opportunity here. So everybody give yourselves a hand. I'm sure going to.
And now, last but certainly not least, Delegate Jonathan Pinson.
Well, what a phenomenal day for our community. I appreciate the governor's leadership on this bill and making sure that West Virginia leads the nation in these important topics. We see when conservative family values are mixed with conservative business-friendly values, we see what's possible for our state. But call me slightly selfish. I am as excited for what this bill means to our community, for this county and neighboring counties, as I am for the entire state. I'm the father of 8 children, and the possibilities for my children to work for this good company, to stay right here in our community, they are exponential. And as I look out and I see friends and community members who my children play sports with and go to school with, we realize that today is an important day for this community. Today is an important day for this county, and I'm grateful for what this bill is doing for the entire state, and it will benefit the entire state. But I am even more grateful for what it means for this region. Governor, thank you. To the members of this great company, to the Senate, to the House, thank you. Again, give yourselves a round of applause.
All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for coming today. I'm going to head out the door. No need to sign anything here, right? Let's go sign this and make it happen. Anyone else want to come behind us? All right, here we go. Starting with 2014, 30th day, right? again. This has been an incredible opportunity. As each speaker said, this is transformative. Now let's go out, let's do the hard work necessary to live up to the promise and really achieve true wealth creation for our state and our citizens. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Governor. Good.